Here is a brief overview of the seat preference experiment. After you've downloaded the seat preference experiment folder and opened it up, you should see something like this on your screen. There's a subfolder with control buttons help, which contains various diagrams for different systems and the controls that correspond to this experiment. There's the information questionnaire Excel form, which you will need to fill out. There's operation guidelines, which gives detailed instructions for completing the experiment. And then there's the application itself. Once you double click on that, the experiment will start loading. Just be patient while it loads. It usually takes about 20 to 30 seconds or so to start loading. And at this stage, you won't need to put on the VR headset because you need to enter your participant ID and use your computer keyboard and mouse to enter those in, which will be on the first page that comes up once it loads. Okay, so in this example, we're just going to enter 0 for the participant ID and click enter. So at this point, you'll be able to put on your VR headset and headphones, and you will be looking at a stage with musicians on it from the first seat in the experiment that you're going to rate based on what you see and what you hear on a scale from 0, which is least satisfied or completely unsatisfied, to 100, which would be completely satisfied. So before you do that, you just want to check that your location within the experiment on the seat looks about right. So just adjust your chair by moving it forward or back or to the side. So once your position looks about right, as if you were sitting on the chair, you can rate the first location. So you can look at the score by touching the touchpad or joystick, and you'll see that the seat begins with a score of 0. Now, to change that, you can rotate the touchpad clockwise to increase the score, and you rotate it anti-clockwise to decrease the score. And the controller will vibrate with every increment or decrement of the score. As soon as you reach the score that corresponds to how you want to rate that position, you can let go of the touchpad. Now, the next thing you want to do is to move to a different seat. So to change location, you pull and hold the trigger, and then while you hold that down, you'll be able to see all of the available locations. The blue balls represent the locations that you are yet to give a score to, and green balls represent locations that you've already given a score to. Point the location towards one ball and release the trigger to transport to the selected location. Then from that location, you would rate the position by giving a score as you did in the previous. You can also see the score of a location that you previously rated by pointing at that location, and then you can see that the one that you previously gave comes up. At any point, you can also move to a previous location that you have already scored if you wish to give it a new score or get some sort of reference point for how you will rate future seats based on the way you rated the previous ones. There's also a menu which you can access with the small button on the menu button on your controller. And there's various options on the menu. You have the save option, which will save all of your current progress so far within the experiment, and it's recommended to do this often to prevent any loss of data due to system malfunctioning. You can save and exit at any time should you wish to keep all of your progress so far but return to the experiment at a later time to finish it. There's the export results file option, which you would select once you have chosen all of your scores for every single seat. Within that, you can choose where you export the results file to. You can choose to export to the current folder, which will export the results file to the same folder that the application is in. You can export to My Documents, which will be the Documents folder on your system. You can also export to a directory of your own choice with the Choose Directory for Export option. But in this case, you will need to take off the VR headset in order to operate your computer keyboard and mouse to choose that folder. There is also the Next Level option, which you would only choose once you have received the password for the next level from the researchers. There's also some additional options down the bottom which should be used with caution, and for this reason you have to actually select them twice for them to be able to function, to prevent any accidental data deletion. Click Clear All Scores if you wish to restart your evaluation from the beginning. So you can see that after doing that, the scores for all of the seats have disappeared and it's as if you're starting from the beginning again. You can revert to the last saved point by clicking Restore to Last Saved, which would bring up all of the seats that you'd already scored at the point where you last clicked Save. You can also click Clear All Saved if you wish to clear all of the saved scores that you have already saved to memory. Once you have completed the experiment, you would have sent the results file to the researchers, and in return they would have sent you the password for unlocking level 2. So at this point you would re-enter the application and then enter the password you've received and click enter. Then once you've unlocked level 2, you can proceed with the second level just as you did with the first level. So going through and rating all of the seats in all of the locations in the space. So in this view here, you can see that the results file has been saved to the chosen location, which was the same location as the application, the save to current folder option. So that's the results file there that you would be sending back to the researchers in order to receive the password for level 2, or the reward level if you have finished both levels. Thank you for participating in this study and enjoy.